Good morning, everyone. We are the Group 3. I am Hayden Casina, and my name is Raymond J. Kalandagan.
And I am Rican F. Tagoda.
And today we will be tackling Bruner's main concept about representation, spiral curriculum, discovery learning, instruction, thinking. So now we will tackle about Bruner's main concept. But before that, who is Jerome Bruner? So Jerome Bruner is one of the proponent of the theory of constructivism. So when we say constructivism, is the way of how you construct your own knowledge, understanding in a way that you do some experiences or social interaction. Now, let us dig deeper to the representation of Jerome Bruner. So representation is suggested by Jerome Bruner that has 3 stages. So representation means or refers to a knowledge that has been that will be stored or encoded in your memory. So the 3 stages of Jerome Bruner are: first, the inactive representation, iconic representation, and symbolic representation. So inactive representation means learning through actions and physical outcomes. So inactive representation is like you're doing some physical activities from your past experiences, or doing some activity, like for example, you saw a bicycle and you want to know or to try how to ride a bicycle. So in that way, you will have a knowledge on how to ride a bicycle because you've tried it. And that is an inactive representation. Understood? Okay. So in number 2, it is an iconic representation that uses images and mental models. So from the word iconic, it uses visualization. So you visualize, for example, you saw a map and you want to go to that particular place. So you visualize what street do you need to go or to agyan mo para makadto sa sinap na lugar. So you visualize that map. That's the iconic representation. This is images, photos that you can actually visualize. So lastly, the symbolic representation. So symbolic representation uses symbols and abstract terms. Like for example, so symbolic representation is one of the most advanced representation of Jerome Bruner because it uses abstract and symbolic. Like for example, in mathematical equation, you remember that particular equation or formula, and that in that way you can you will know how to answer that problem because of the formula, right? So another one is the cursive letter of R. So the meaning of cursive letter R is pi, and that means the ratio of a circular shape, right? So when you saw the cursive letter R, it will come to your mind that it is a pi. And that's my report. Now I will give the floor to Ms. Kamandagan. Thank you. So once again, good morning. Now we will be talking about spiral curriculum. So spiral curriculum, teaching should build on cognitive development. Teachers must revisit content at different developmental levels. Same topic taught in some simple form early, then deeper later. So when we say spiral curriculum, the key word here we all know, for example of this is the plant. We all know that when we are a elementary level, when we are the nursery or kindergarten, we just know that plants need water and sun to grow, right? But then, in the middle grade level, just like for example grade 5, grade 6, or grade 4, we will be tackling about photosynthesis, the carbon dioxide, the oxygen, that it is a process in order for the plant to grow. And then in a higher level or the high school level, we will be tackling about the cellular respiration, the photosynthesis equations and their role in ecosystem. But of course, we are revisiting the knowledge that we learned from the elementary to high school. As you can see or remember, diba, there are lessons that we are tackling again and again. That is because we are revisiting the knowledge that we have learned, but we are adding more or deeper understanding in that knowledge, and that is the spiral curriculum. So now, let's proceed to the discovery learning. Okay, for example, elementary, guided discovery of animal groups. High school, chemistry experiments with mystery liquids. So for example, here are the three properties na solid, liquid, and gas. So instead of the teacher teaching it directly to the student, what if the teacher gives an example? The teacher will present the things, like solid things, an ice cube, and a balloon. Then the teacher will let the student identify, observe, i-obserbahan nila kung ano itong mga bagay na ito. Pwede nila i-captain, parang i-observe, i-describe nila kung ano ito siya ba. Gamitan nila sa nilang critical thinking para ma-differentiate nila kung ano ang pagkakaiba at pagkakapareho sa isa't isa. Then the teacher can ask like, what do you notice about the shape of ice? Does water keep its shape or change depending on the container? Diba? Instead na directly lang siya ma-istorya sa teacher, but then yung may ara ka ng physical example get nga makita isang student at ma-feel or ma-experience isang student, mas ano ilang learning or mas engaging ang student na doon, mas naka-learn sila pag engaging ang isa ka topic. That's why mas masulod siya sa brain sa bata and mas dali siya matutunan. And I think that concludes my report. Now I will give the floor to Mr. Rico Cadwada.
So once again, good morning everyone. So our topic is all about four major aspects of discussion of the Bruner theory, 1966. Yeah. So among four major aspects of discussion, the first one is predisposition to learn, or which means readiness for learning. Students learn best when they are according to their cognitive abilities and their age. Like for example, if the students is hard to understand function, the teacher shows us types of pizzas that will suit to their age and cognitive abilities. Secondly, structure of knowledge. Meaning the way knowledge is provided must be organized. And like for example, instead of just memorizing animal names, the teacher categorizes it into mammals, which gives the students patterns on how to understand those animals. So, third aspect of structure is effective sequencing or revisiting and building ideas. So, meaning lessons should be arranged from simple to more complex. Before you start to complex, you should teach the basics or the simple. Like for example, in math, children learn addition with objects, later with numbers, and eventually with algebraic equations building like step by step. And lastly, number 4, reinforcements. Rewards, motivation, and learning interest. So according to Bruner, encouragement and motivation help students keep learning. Bruner believes interest in the subject is the best motivation, not just by rewards or punishments. Example, as a science teacher sparks interest by leading students to do fun experiments instead of only giving grades or tests. And that concludes my report. So Bruner also proposed the categorization. And here are the types of categories. Number 1 is identity categories, object based on features, which means group object based on shared features or attributes. Like for example, apple, banana, and orange are all groups, which means they are grouped based on their attributes. And number two is equivalent categories, combining categories. Like example, car, truck, van, or motor vehicles. And number 3 is coding system, recognizing sensory input, forming hierarchies. This means that arrangement of related categories can help us recognize and organize sensory input, allow us to group and immediate data and make inferences. Like for example, dog, cat, or rabbit is what we can use. Lastly, number 3, coding system, recognizing sensory input, forming hierarchies. Like for example, cat, dogs we can pet them, and those pets are mammals, and those mammals are animals. So it is based on forming hierarchies. And